I'm going to show you a secret wild sanctuary space where no one ever goes. But it's not in some remote island wilderness. It's next to a busy main road and industrial estate on the outskirts of the city of Sheffield. Today, we're going to explore what it means to be truly rooted in a place, and how you can find wild sanctuary spaces to enable you to flourish in your soul space, even in the midst of a city. Hello from Skiathos, the Greek island where we're exploring the relationship between landscape, soulscape, and a creative life. I'm Rick, an artist and mystic from England, and I spend my time here making art and working with the wild energies of the island. You may well be familiar with the disconcerting experience of returning to a place you once knew very well but haven't visited for a while. Maybe an old house where you used to live, the school you attended when you were little, or a place you used to go on holiday years ago. Last week, I had a few days in the UK where I used to live. I took some time to visit a little sanctuary space where for years I would spend time in meditation. And it was there that I learned to work with the energies of the land. Here's what happened. Hello from Sheffield. This is very near to where I used to live, on the outskirts of Sheffield before I moved to Skiathos. And I just thought I'd come and show you the place where I started to really seriously work with the land, the soul of the land, in ritual and meditation and that deep listening to landscape and the soulscape that I'm doing on Skiathos. And I want to show you this spot because I think it's important to acknowledge and encourage you, wherever you are, that you don't need to live in a remarkable wild place with amazing scenery and, you know, mountains or forests or and any of that to do this really important work and beautiful, subtle, sensual work with the landscape. You can literally do it anywhere. And for years and years before I ended up on Skiathos, this is where I used to do it. You can see we're just on a like an industrial estate. It's just on the outskirts of Sheffield. So I'll walk you over and I'll show you the little sacred circle that I made in a woodland here, just by the industrial estate near this busy main road. And I've not been for, gosh, over a year, 18 months maybe, a long time. So I don't even know whether it will still be there, but we'll see what we find. This is a place I used to come to. It's just walking distance from where I used to live. So I used to come here a lot and really developed a really deep relationship with the place and the land and the trees there. So let's go and see what we find after all this time. Here we go. So you don't need to be out in wild landscapes away from civilization to do this kind of work. I mean, there's things that are alive all over the place. Look at these overgrown hedgerows and trees. And I think there's a little stream down there as well. Just so full of life, bursting with life. Look at that. Just the wild tangle of life, even in this kind of urban, semi-urban space. Just going to dash across the road. Here we go. Might be able to hear the birds singing above the sound of the traffic. It's like kind of marshy land here. And this used to be, this was all mining areas. So these are all um, old kind of collieries that have been dismantled and now overgrown. Now, the way in was off the path. This is always it's always good advice to step off the path and see what you can find. Here we go. I've not been down here for ages. And you can see this is kind of new growth forest, because these are silver birch trees. They're the first trees to grow when the land is being reclaimed by the wild, and then the oak trees eventually come out. Gosh, they've chopped down a lot of this. Beautiful silver birch. It's quite a sunny day here as well. It's raining on Skiathos, so we've got the good weather here. Gosh, it's really changed. They've really been doing some forestry work here. But you can see this is like a wild space right next to that really urban area. What are we finding? Oh my word. So these are the trees I used to work with. So many of them in, I suppose it's forestry that they manage the trees like this. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Yeah. This is it. This is a circle that I made years and years ago, and then just kept maintaining it over the years. I didn't know whether it would remain, but there is a little, you can just about see the fingerprint of it. I'll show you. Hello, old friend. I used to talk to this tree so much. Hello. And here you can see, you might just be able to see the circle of branches. And I used to sit in the middle of here and meditate and feel the energy. And you can see these are oak trees growing, so you know, in 100-200 years time these will be towering up above the land, hopefully holding the memory, not hopefully, definitely holding the memory of the conversations that we used to have. Gosh, see the faint shadow of the space that remains. And I made a little shrine here as well, from just kind of rubbish that I've detritus I found on the land, and it's still here. There we go. Just made a little shrine to honour the spirits of the land here. There it is, out of an old paint pot and some other bits and pieces that I found here. Oh, there it is. The space is still alive. Huh. Wow. Oh, there's a butterfly. Okay, I'm going to sit down here and do some meditation, just to maybe tell the stories to the land of everything that's happened since I was last here. It's so important for us to find a place where we belong, where we feel rooted and nurtured. But why spend the time and effort it takes to do this? Well, it's because when we are grounded and rooted in a place, even if it's just a small, simple, private space that only we know about it, when we are grounded like that, we find a sense of being held. And why does that matter? Well, there are a few reasons. Most of them are due to the weird curveballs of life. They get thrown at us constantly, don't they? And sometimes we just need somewhere safe to go and feel grounded and at peace in the midst of the turmoil. So when things seem to be dissolving and disorienting, if we have a rooted space that we've tended to, a well that we've dug in more peaceful times, then that grounded sacred space will hold us through the storm. So think for a moment now, where is that place or places for you? And there may well be somewhere that comes immediately to mind, and if so, be thankful for that rooting and nurturing space. But if you feel unrooted, without a grounded foundation space, let me offer some suggestions as to how you might find a place to put your roots down, wherever you may be, because you absolutely do not have to travel to a Greek island or some remote wilderness to find these sacred spaces of rooted and connectedness. In fact, for many of us, our life circumstances mean that we're simply not able to travel far from where we find ourselves. It's just not practical to uproot our lives and start afresh somewhere else. There may be family commitments, work commitments, financial or health limitations. All of that can mean that it's not possible to simply cast off into the unknown. I was in Sheffield for 20 years because of my 2 children living there. And so that's where I rooted myself, and that's where I chose to belong. And I think that ability to choose is really important. We may feel that we're the victims of circumstance and have no choice but to be exactly where we are, even if we do feel a restlessness to escape it. But that fact is that you are there in that place. And you, me, each of us, we all have a choice as to whether we seek out ways to belong there or not. And part of that will involve finding community, seeking out groups we can associate with, people with shared interests and values and so on. But here I'm talking about that sense of soul rootedness, the deep sense of belonging to place. I guarantee, even if you're thinking as I say this, well, there's nowhere around here, it's too built up or too run down or too many people and so on, I guarantee you will, with a little time and curiosity, I guarantee you will be able to seek out a little sacred space of wildness wherever you are. Wilderness is a very powerful concept. And when you imagine wilderness, perhaps what springs to mind is a great vast desert or mountain range or forest miles from any human civilization. But wilderness really means the self-willed place. That is, a space that has not been corralled and controlled by human frameworks, usually concrete roads and pavements, walls and fences, even hedgerows sometimes. But as that famous line spoken by Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park goes, life finds a way. Life finds a way. And you saw it in that video clip from Sheffield, that overgrown little stream and marshland, a tangle of trees and brambles all growing in wild abandon. I found the space that was calling me there simply by stepping off the tarmac path, just a few meters away from the controlled, human-made environment. Just a few meters away, there was wildness, a self-willed place. And it's these spaces, however small, that beckon us to become rooted not in the power structures of the human community, but in the much more ancient, twisting networks of life, teeming with seeds sprouting where no one has planted them, bugs crawling where no one has swept them away to make a place more hygienic, and birds swooping and singing in the air where no one could catch them even if they tried. A place near where you are right now may immediately spring to mind. But if not, I encourage you to take a wander with your eyes and all your senses wide open. Seek out the self-willed places in your vicinity. And you may have to step off the path to find them, or it may be as simple as finding the dandelion pushing its way up through cracks in the concrete. But I guarantee it will be there. Self-willed places hold a power that has a different quality to the controlled spaces of human intervention. Even compared to churches, temples and other built sacred spaces. And these places can of course be very beautiful and really important places to nurture our spiritual lives at the right time and in the right circumstances. But the self-willed place is more primal, it's more ancient. It holds a quieter wisdom that doesn't shout from the rooftops, but gently moves and whispers through the rhythm of the seasons and the waxing, waning moon. When we do find these spaces and tune into them, rooting deep, they have wonderful gifts for us if we have the patience to allow them to emerge. So wander with your senses open to find the self-willed place. And when you find it, sit a while and take your time. Offer gratitude. Maybe even introduce yourself and speak gently about why you're there. You're seeking a place to be rooted and nurtured in the earth, honouring the wild soul. And sometimes it can help to imagine sending down roots from the base of your spine, pushing down through concrete or soil or rock, deep into the nurturing earth, to be anchored there, and then draw up whatever energy you need for that moment. Comfort, healing, restoration, courage, for example. And keep returning to that spot. It may be a little urban park you visit on your lunch hour from work, for example, or a place you pass when you're going to pick the children up from school. It didn't take a long time, just a few minutes to recenter and reconnect. And then as you deepen your relationship with the place, you may find the urge to create or build a little symbolic space. I began to place a few sticks and branches I found lying in the urban woodland, and I placed them in a circle. You saw it in the video. And that built up over the years, and then grass and other plants grew up amongst the branches, weaving the circle into the land with moss and all of the life of the land. It was a true creative cooperation with the wild space. People have dumped some rubbish in part of the woodland, and I used an old paint pot and other bits and pieces to make a little shrine for me to put out little offerings to the land from time to time. So I'd encourage you to try and use whatever it is the land gives you, trusting that what you need will emerge. And the more work we do in a space like that, the deeper we dig the well, it will become a place of peace, rooting and sustaining you. But more than that, you will be honouring and offering gratitude to the earth that holds and sustains us. The flow and gift works both ways. Because, so often when I've worked with the landscape in this way, as I offer gratitude to the earth, I feel a swell of joy and gratitude flowing back to me too. By rooting ourselves in a place that has its own unconfined power. So we take back our own power as we choose to be rooted there, and we choose to belong. Now, I'd love to hear your own stories of seeking and finding wild sanctuary spaces, wherever that journey took place for you. It might be out in a vast wilderness, or it might be in a supermarket car park. Drop a message in the comments and please share your experiences. Also, if there's a subject you'd be interested in me exploring in one of these videos, then do let me know, and I'll make a video for you. Liking, subscribing and sharing this video with anyone you think will resonate with it is also really helpful to me. Thank you so much. Now, if you'd like a one-to-one video call as you explore these ideas, I've got over 15 years of experience accompanying people on their spiritual journeys. So drop me a message and we can discuss what might work for you. Also, if you'd be interested in having your personal story and your personal experience of these soul journeys expressed in a piece of art, then I'd be happy to work with you. It might be a painting like one of these, or a little sculpture or talisman like these lovely little driftwood owl paintings, or whatever will be helpful to you. Just send me a message, or you can follow the link attached to the channel. Now, thank you for listening. I hope you have a peaceful and gentle day. I'll be here again next time for more adventures and journeys with art, soul and landscape. Lots of love.